right, what is up, Five Night Gamers? Welcome back to the Ultra Space Time Podcast, episode 101, Frieza no brother. And today, you can see, again, a slightly smaller round, but hey, we're going to make it cozy and we're going to just have some fun. So today, as always, before we start, Twitch Prime's not a crime. So if you're in Twitch chat, you have that free Amazon Prime sub lying around, Prime Gaming. Support us if you want to. Leave a like on YouTube. Subscribe. I can't speak. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter for all the latest shenanigans. You will find all the links in chat or in the description. And with that said, today I am joined finally again, man. I missed you. What's good, Asdi?
I missed you too, Bob. What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's having a great day.
And of course, it wouldn't be a Legends podcast without King Potassium. What's up, Battle?
Hello, everybody. Ballamore here, the King Potassium himself. Welcome of the trio magnifico to the podcast.
So today we're going to do the podcast in Italian, as you heard. Ciao, come stai? That's it. Okay, goodbye. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So today we're going to talk about whatever the game gave us. There is the free-to-play Metal Cooler. We have the TOP boost system adjustments that we also just talked about a little bit right before the show. I want to see, we'll just talk about how did LBR go for us and how did we like the mode? And now that we got the leaks kind of confirmed, more or less, the next LF, and we hear that Slug is getting a Zenkai. So yeah, let's jump in with the free-to-play cooler, and who better to talk us through free-to-play cooler than Duke, the free-to-play legend.
Hey, okay, so basically how I feel about this cooler, I think he's so damn good. I've said this on a couple of my own personal videos as well, is that I truly believe he is on the same tier as free-to-play Trunks. The yellow one, right? And that's I think that one's definitely a fan favorite. A lot of people really love that yellow free-to-play Trunks. I'm not saying that this one's like definitively better, this cooler right here, but I would say he's like on the same tier of how well that they made him. I think the only critique that people have made on that I've heard people make on this unit is just his color. Literally just because he's blue and because he's not red. And I've heard a lot of people say like, hey, well, you know what? The LOE LF that we're going to be quote unquote getting, right? He's going to be red. So don't even worry about it. I still feel like, I want to stick to my guns here and say that I really do wish he was red, because there's going to be people that are not going to be able to pull him, right? Even if he is, we don't even know if the LF is going to be red. Hopefully he is. But I do feel like every unit, like on a team, like on a core team, should have like a second pick, like a filler pick. I think this guy would have been that perfect, the perfect one to do so, right? To be in that red slot right there. But everything about him, I really do enjoy it. When he comes into the battlefield at the very start, he comes in with card draw speed, right? And then he has the ability, like per timer counts, he will get that key back. It feels really good. Like it honestly, like you get in there, it feels like when you go against like someone like Whis who can take away key or units that increase your arts card cost, like it doesn't feel too impactful to this guy. It doesn't really necessarily kill your combos. And even when you swap out, I find myself still having key. Right, so he's almost kind of like the quote-unquote like infinite key for those first 10 timer counts or whatever. He actually does do pretty good amount of damage and stuff like that. I'm really enjoying using this unit a lot. Like I've used him a lot. I think I used him for like my past 3 videos or something like that. Like he's really solid. And I'm having just a great time in PvP with him. What do you guys think?
Battle, you go first.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. I feel like he's really good. I mean, Unfortunately, I do compare him to Revive Frieza, and that's because he's the color blue. And I think that is the reason why people say, why blue? But from my standpoint on this, I feel like this is a good color. Even if you put him on red, what about the Zenkai Metal Cooler then?
Nah, come on.
I mean, I'm sure you will not use it. Sure, you will not use it.
Hot trash.
Yeah, but you have to be logistic. They want different color on Metal Cooler so you can run an entire Metal Cooler team.
Again, let's be realistic here.
I honestly think that's a fine argument too, because when I heard that we were getting Metal Cooler, I thought we were gonna get like a boot camp. I thought we were gonna get a Metal Cooler boot camp. I know they don't do that like often or anything like that, but I think that'd be something cool for them to revisit like in the future. Is if they just gave us like a bunch of like the remaining colors.
Just give us like a Metal Cooler army like on Dokkan.
Yeah. Oh, just like all in one card?
No. Like 5 different Metal Coolers, 1 each color.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I see. I want something like that. I think that'd be pretty neat. Or like a little boot camp like that.
I think that would be sick actually. Because I mean on Dokkan they had this and I think they're now getting an EZA. All like the free to play Metal Coolers. Before I think they were just called like Metal Cooler Red, Metal Cooler Blue, or AGL, SDR, and so on, so that you could play them all on the same team.
Yeah, see, that's something like that is pretty cool. Like I think in Dokkan, I think they even just have like one general card, right? Like it was just like an LR just Metal Cooler army, and it's just like a ton of Metal Coolers on there.
Yeah, I think the Int one, and that would be cool too. But I would just like to have like similar to the Cyberman and whatever, just have 5 different Metal Coolers with 5 different kits. And just to make matters worse, they all look the same. So they confuse not just you, but your opponent. And then you do the wrong blue card and then you forget that it's a melee. I think that would be fantastic.
It probably be in the future. But right now, they focus on the powerful opponent event they have.
Yes, great event. I mean, what are we getting? The boss rush.
I just find it funny that the event would says powerful opponent. You are not allowed to use one of the powerful opponent that is not a powerful opponent in this event.
Yep.
But he's still on the thing.
It is
the Mecha Frieza.
Only for summon, yeah, but you cannot use him in the new event that they spoke of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember. It's just like I just do this boss rush thing first thing in the morning after reset, so it's like I don't forget about it and then just move on with my day, kind of. But yeah, for this Metal Cooler, I've not used them much outside of the event, to be honest. So I don't really know. I mean, like his whole restore key when after a couple of counts looks pretty good, but I don't know. Is he really doing that the damage that you need, or what is his role in your team's ASDIC?
Oh yeah, he does. I personally, I think he does great damage. Like there's been plenty of times where I've actually been able to one-shot MUI just like off a blue card or something like that. I haven't been able to one-shot a droids, but I've been like very, very close to doing so. I don't know. He does. I feel like he is basically the damage dealer. And so it's not necessarily something that LOE needs or anything like that, right? You guys already have a good amount of damage on the team. But I think he's still really, really solid. He just kind of feels like someone that's in there. He can make sure you get key. And then LOE is like one of those teams where you're already getting key, right? Like there's a lot of units on LOE where they come in and they get game key, right? So I feel like in a combination with the fact that he also gains key, it almost feels like you are never running out of that. He kind of almost just, I don't know. I feel like he just meshes well in there. I've used him on, so I think the team that I first used him on was like a blue, purple, right? With the Revival Frieza and the purple Frieza, the blue cards hit hard. I do have to say the blue cards do hit hard. And then I think the green is even nice too, correct? Because you pop the green and then you gain the 2 cards. Yeah. Right? So you can even like extend your combos and stuff like that. The only thing about the green is that I do feel like the other LOE members have better greens, like more valuable greens. Like when I'm using LOE, for the most part, I am using that purple Frieza. I don't have golden Frieza, unfortunately, green golden Frieza. But for the most part, I will save the green cards for the purple anyways. Just try to get the immobilize.
But, sub count reduction.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. That's the thing that I love the most about him. I thank you for reminding me about this. The sub count reduction. So he does it 3 times where he just reduces sub counts. I think it's by 3, just 3 times specifically for powerful opponents. I think it is powerful opponents and someone else, another tag. But that is so clutch. I think did sub manipulation count or sub count manipulation I don't know why I said that so weirdly, but I think that's like one of the most broken things you can have in this game right here, right? Because there's been so many times where like I can avoid like a powerful attack, like a rising rush or an ultimate, because my opponent's like, okay, there's no way that 10 timer counts have elapsed right here. And well, that's exactly what he does for both of your allies, and then I don't know, it feels so good, like when you hop into him and you're able to immediately just hop out, and then how you were just talking about with first form Frieza being able to lower sub counts too with the green card, revival Frieza being able to lower sub counts down with the main ability. You were just constantly swapping throughout your units, and without like any like sort of punishment there, because you know how like if you go through all your swaps too fast, normally you would be getting punished for that, right? Because you're going to run out of banishes, you're going to run out, it doesn't really feel like this with this guy, right? Because it just, everything's almost always like off of cooldown.
Fair enough. And yeah, I agree with you, since vanish is your best defensive capability. Definitely one of the most clutch things is to just play with the sub counts to get those vanishes back.
Mm-hmm.
And what equips would you run on him, or what equips are you running on him?
Oh man, okay. Now see, this is where I wish I'm gonna need some insight from you guys. Dude, my equips are so bad for this guy. I think one equip that I was using that's actually very unfortunate. The situation about it was there's the one with first form Frieza on it. And it buffs blast attack per lineage of evil unit.
Right.
That the only thing that sucks about that is, oh wait, hold on, right?
You will
sure
pay, right?
Yeah. This one right here for Frieza Force, not Lineage of Evil. That's the only thing that sucks about it. He can use this, but he's not Frieza Force, right? So he's gonna be missing out like on a certain percentage of that last slot right there. And it's just so weird to me that the requirements for equipping this is Lineage of Evil, but it's for Frieza Force. So I wanted to ask you guys, is there an alternative for this that's better for him? Because I wanted a pure blast attack for him for sure. I know on regeneration they have a good one that's like per regeneration tag. I think that one's pretty solid too.
Yeah,
if you're running him on a regeneration team.
There is one equipment. There is one equipment that is specifically for blue units, and that is I Can't Sense Gohan. It gains pure blast attack if you have a yellow or a purple battle member.
Oh, is it the one where Trunks is just like flopped over on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either that, or if you're running him on movies, he has the that gets pure 5% blast attack per movie character.
Okay, yeah, so that one definitely. But I just think it sucks that you don't have like one of those that's definitive for Lineage of Evil,
Yeah, so that's why I usually, for LOE, if you really want that at damage, you can run I'll Destroy All of You, which gives you blast attack 20% and then also special move damage 20%. Seeing as he gets a blue card with his main, kind of helpful, I guess.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Let's have a look.
I mean, I do suggest that it's I Destroy All of You because of the blue card damage he does. It is pretty much. Yeah, I know. But it's still, I kind of want to say.
Okay.
Depends on if you want to do damage or tankiness. There are Awakened Frenzy Power, the blue
the movie one?
Yeah. If you just want defenses on him. Or if you just want more damage, I exit Weight, the Awakened Weight. And that gives it defense, base blast attack, and then health and base key recover.
Right, the one with for Final Form Frieza on it, I guess that is.
Yeah. But it all depends. If you're running on LOE, and if you just want pure blast, it is I Can't Sense Gohan, because there is no way he has other pure blast equip, except for Regen, except for movies, except for Frieza Force.
Yeah, but then you have to bring yellow or purple, which I mean makes sense with the color. I mean, if you're bringing him with like purple Elder Frieza, for example, and you also get the blue card on top, so it makes also sense to have the I'll Destroy All of You equip with the extra blue card damage.
LOE really has the most powerful of the colors is purple and yellow.
True.
I mean, the first form Frieza you have with Shield as a bench. You have the first form. No, not first form. Full power Frieza, the LF1. Just remove Dragon Balls. If you're just thinking like that, or the most powerful Green Golden, Angel Golden Frieza, but you will either run the first form or revive Frieza. You rather run like Frieza Force if you just want to use the equipment like that. But in this case of Metal Cooler, I mean, his abilities that gives him all of the... Like, it gets 90% of damage cannot be cancelled, reduced damage 40%. He has already 50% of special move damage inflict. So I do suggest that you, if you want to give him more boost, just boost him with the blue card damage than the blast one.
You can also use Hurry Up and Die. The blast equip, you know, it's like for all range types, gives like 12% special move and 20% blast as well, plus key recovery. If you want to just make him, you know, super damaging. Yeah. I like to put that on some ranged unit, but yeah, usually pair it with a pure equip. But in this case, you don't really have one unless you bring that, you know, that Trunks equip, I guess.
It's just too bad that he wasn't strike based. Else he has the Awakened Silver equipment. Feast your eyes on this.
He does have this, but I mean, yeah, I guess I know what you mean. But I mean, the whole team is pretty blast based, so would he even fit in?
I mean, it's cooler. I was really expecting him to be strike based.
Well, I mean, I feel like Final Form Cooler, yes. Metal Cooler, is the green Metal Cooler a strike type, a melee type?
He is melee.
Okay.
So that's why I'm confused when we got this free to play with the blast base.
Okay. And then the red one, I guess, is like a defense type or something, or support?
Yeah, defense.
Okay. Yeah.
So we got all types except for the support type.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, you can use it, but not really. I think that the frenzied power you can also use if you really want just the raw damage and everything, like 35% blast attack, 25% strike attack, and some strike defense without the awakening. And then once it awakens, it just goes all defensive. So yeah, I guess there's quite a few equips you can choose from just for like high percentages. And then throw on, like slap on the Trunks equip, and I think it should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I guess Asdik, you noticed now that we got the TOP boost adjustments. Battle was insinuating you might have not noticed that in the last video, but hey, not throwing anybody under the bus here except both of you. I'm kidding, but Battle, how do you feel about those changes to the TOP boost system?
I was surprised. They changed it so much. It's crazy. I mean, right now we have the TOP around 4%, right? At the max stats.
Yeah.
But right now it's 20 for C, and that is huge difference. And the lowest is 2% and 0. From 4, 3, 2, 1, this is 20, 10, 5, 2. There's a huge difference on percentage. And problem is though that the C doesn't even have really a lot of good units.
Yeah, I think like the only sparking units I saw were like Great Saiyaman 2, the red one, and then I think the 1000-Day Bulma or something.
All the popular units went to C or B tier. Some A tier, but not really that good. C tier, the sparking units was free to play Nappa, baseball Yamcha, which I find it funny.
All the free to play purples.
Girls, Super Warriors, and movies is kind of hitting hard. But then we have the free to play Metal Cooler that is here. We have the 1000-Day Bulma. We have Hercule. No one is going to use him. There's no way, especially with his stats everywhere. He doesn't even have endurance in this, which kind of hurt. Deborah, which I find interesting. We have Great Saiyaman 2, the girl unit. So, yeah, there is not a lot of sparking there. And the S have at least most of the good units there, but not all. the minions that was most popular has all went to tier C, and that is terrible. I'm sorry, Aztec, for your loss. We had you have the Cybermens though, if you want to use them.
Yeah, 5 of them, and then you need 3 more of the minions.
Yeah, too bad the Cyberman doesn't move event exclusive.
Yikes!
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't even remember that. That's a big yikes.
It is unfortunate, but from what I've seen, at least Red Turtle is in S, and people will use him on movies or Saiyans. If you want to run that, it all depends on what the map is going to be. If it's like right now, there is no way people would use tier Z from this. I don't know who approved this, but this is just crazy. Boost change system. I hope they change the map with the same. I hope they change the map too, because else this is going to be crazy. People will complain a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is that? Or sorry,
go ahead.
You can go ahead, Palm.
You go
I was
first.
just gonna say that the map, it really does. If the map is anything like the maps that we've been recently getting, where it's just full of the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Sun family stages, no one's going to take advantage of Tier Z. They might use 1 Tier Z unit, maybe 2, like if they want to really push it. But if it's gonna continue to be the same meta, the same like board that we just constantly have been getting, no one's going to take advantage of this. They're going to just use the same teams, right? Because you have Regeneration just barely got their counter to Sun family with Buhan. Right? Buhan's, he's in tier B, right? You're only getting a 2% boost from that. People are going to be okay with that. If they can still get their 1000 CC, people are going to be okay with just, screw it, I'm getting my tier B units, my tier C units, and my tier A units, and I'm going in. I think that for the first couple of seasons, it's going to be like that, right? Especially as people get adjusted to seeing what's going to be the most optimal route, like how many tier Z units should I actually bring in, how many should I actually pick up from S tier. I mean, Regeneration still has a good option in S tier too, because the yellow healer Piccolo's in there, right? The EX one, even though he doesn't do any damage, he's still a healer, which I think people are going to want to invest in him just because the other healers are now C tier, right? For Regeneration specifically, you're getting no boost from that, so
right.
It just. I don't know. It just feels weird. It just feels odd. I think it's just more of an incentive to be like, oh, well, use these really, really crappy units. And, I don't know.
If that is the case, why do I not see any hero unit except for Shalt in tiers?
Because heroes can't be used in TOP, right? I think that's just...
Yep.
They just cannot be used?
They cannot be used.
Yeah, you can't use them.
They don't even have a kit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, they can, but you're suicide.
No, they can't. I don't think you can even... You cannot even select them.
What?
I mean, how would the game do? What would the game do if it doesn't have a kit? Just gonna crash.
I remember the time everyone, when TOP first arrived, I was like, finally, I can use my hero units. They at least have something to be valuable. Now they don't still have it.
They don't. They haven't had it in a long time.
Pain. True. But still, the tournament power has changed dramatically with this percentage. There is so huge difference. 4% to 20 now, 3% to 10, tier A, 2% to 5, B, 1% to 2, and tier C is still the same, but all the character has shuffled. Like all your favorite units that you used before in TOP, all gone. There are some in the B or A tier, but they are not in the highest tier to give you the maximum boost for you to get to top number 1 if you're going for it. Maybe in top 1K, depends on how the board looks like. But the tier C and tier S, there's only one Zenkai in tier S, and that is the Blue Cell Extreme unit.
Yeah.
So good. But to be honest, I'm expecting people to try out running a team only comprised of Z and S tier units, and then instead of going the max point route, you just go a safer one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it like this, right? You get a 4. Normally, the maximum battle score you can get is 400k, right?
Yeah.
So for ease of calculation, let's say you get that, and then you add a 4% score from 400k. that is 16,000 extra. If you add a 20% score, that's a little bit more. That is 80,000, right? So that's 5 times 80,000 over 16,000. If you add that up, after maybe like half the board, you could potentially even use a healing spot, lose your bonus, and maybe still have more than somebody who went, with the 5% or 2% units. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people were just experiment with that. Or you're just going to have a team that has like a couple of Z and S tier units and then a couple of the staples like Tauntaun and 18 or something like that. Just, to save those other units one turn at least. I can see that going like this. Those discussions were going on between people in my Discord for sure. And, if you have a good box, like no harm in trying it out. Well, unless you want to not get D-ranked.
Yeah, true. But I wonder if they are going to change I know we don't know for now, but the map, if this is going to be happening, I feel like the map needs to change too. Because if we keep facing a region or Sun family, we kind of screwed.
Maybe they lower the stars again?
Maybe. Are we back to the lows? 2 stars?
I don't think so.
2 stars on just every fight.
Because the thing is, I think that they will not lower the stars or anything. Because technically, you still have the same units available to you, right? You can still fully like be TOP with the box that people have and beaten it before. But it's just more about strategizing. Which of the Z tier units or S tier units are fit my team that I can also bring, because you still need to have them in the battle, not on the bench for it to count. So I find it's going to be an interesting change for sure. That's going to shake up the whole meta. But I'm going to expect a lot of people to experiment with that.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like for now, we can't really say whether it's a good or a bad. At least I cannot say whether it's a good or a bad change. It's just a change.
It's just weird. Yeah, I think it's just weird. I'm not going to go out and say that it's awful, but I'm not going to go and say that this is the best thing ever. Right? Because if it only, I'm going to be real honest, if it only took the Sun family units and put them in tier C, I would have been like, the game mode is saved. But they put everyone there, so I can't say that.
Every favorite unit. Every unit that were popular has been to tier C, or between B and A too.
Honestly, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that also they changed it. They must have some, well, I mean, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but there's has to be some basis of, okay, this is why we're changing it, right? Maybe they see, they saw probably everybody's playing like the Tauntaun movies or Sun family team with a couple of like stray region stragglers here and there. And they wanted to shake it up. And then probably first 1, 2, 3 seasons are going to be like janky just to, recalibrate which units to put where. And then I think we're going to find an equilibrium again in a couple of seasons.
True. But now with this change, are they going to finally give us the equipment that is still locked for TOP that was in the data but has not been released yet?
Which one? I don't even
know. The equipment for the gold equip for colors.
Damn, I just upgraded all my silver equips. Don't tell me about that.
But we had this discussion before.
I don't recall. I'm old. Cut me some slack.
I refuse.
I have COVID brain and old.
You guys are smarter with me in TOP. You guys should know this more than me.
Well, if I don't see it, but eventually those will probably come. And then I'm assuming they might complement the silver ones. So I don't know if the blue silver one, for example, gives you like blast attack and strike defense. Maybe the golden one gives you strike attack and blast defense and then some other stat. So you can, I mean, otherwise they would completely make the silver ones obsolete and that would suck.
I mean,
yeah.
Because this way, like there's some, let's say, for example, let's take purple Goten and purple Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, right? One is a blast type, one is a like melee, and one is a range type. And now if there's the purple equip, I don't remember what it does exactly right now, but if it only gives you blast attack, it's useless for the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. If it gives you strike attack, it's useless for the other. So if they made the golden one to kind of round it out, you can always pick one of the two, and you would still have use for both of those variants depending on your team. So
wasn't that the same when Legends came out for Legends PvP?
What do you mean?
Like bronze equip, the bronze equip are obsolete right now. There is no one who's using them. There is silver equip, then the gold equip. Many people use the gold equip, and then silver equip got awakened, and it changed everything.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that TOP is at that state yet. At least in terms of equips, right? They still have some holes to fill, and I feel like just making the golden ones overrule the silver ones would just be kind of a missed opportunity.
Then
I can see them doing that in the future, though.
Yeah,
I could definitely see them doing that, and then making the gold equips more expensive.
Watch them awaken TOP equips, and you can still not guaranteed upgrade, dude.
No, don't even say that. That would be the worst, I think, if they awaken them.
Oh, that is so much pain.
Yep. And I mean, honestly, I used the raid erasers, and I completed Project Zero green slots. So all my TOP equips now have only gold or red slots. So I don't want them to replace the silver equips just yet, because I also used did it with the silver ones. Just because last time I ran on TOP on stream, so many times the enemy was left alive with like 10k. I think once the enemy lived with like 362 HP one attack, and it would have been useful if they died. So I don't want to leave that to chance anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it will be interesting. It's not much to say right now. It all depends on how the map will be looking like, and how everyone is going to be using this to their advantage. We will see.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are going to hold off running TOP until like the last couple of days, just to see what the teams are at the top, and also what the scores are, because that's the other thing. Like right now, the scores are always pretty consistent between like 46 and 47 million, you know, depending on how hard the season is. I'm expecting it, like if you say 20% instead of 4%, I'm expecting it to go to like maybe 55 to 60. Potentially. Wait, is that may be a bit much, but I definitely should crack the 50 easily, like 50, 52, 53. Depending on the team comp.
It will be interesting.
Yeah.
To say the least. Because no one is going to take the dangerous route if you're using all of this new information and not using your usual team.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Especially since extremes have lower stats, they have a reduced kit, everything. So should be interesting for sure. And another thing that I find interesting is how did LBR go for you, Battlemore?
Kind of easy.
Do you want to go in a little more detail?
I mean, you get a total of 2 tickets every day, and you can only up to 10 tickets. And after all the 10 tickets is done, you don't get more tickets, because apparently LBR is probably going to keep coming more often than usual. That was their thing when it says in the news. Kind of expected more first when I saw, but then when I checked the information on LBR, I was like, oh, so LBR is coming more time. So that's why we only got 10 tickets for this one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't read the news there, I guess.
Yeah, so LBR is going to come more times now as a normal event.
How do you feel about that? Okay.
I mean, to me, it's okay. I mean, 10 tickets, we do not stress ourselves out for every team fight, right?
I think it's just good just purely because there's CC rewards involved.
Yeah, and it's kind of easy CC rewards too.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, 300?
Kind of. I mean, it's 300. We get C power around. We can get titles. Depends on. I don't think we get titles, but we get stuff.
But I think there was like one PvP message and some Z power in there.
Also, from what I see, we get what was it? We get 300 ZC, we get 100 C power for each color. Nice. I don't understand the 200 C power for full power Frieza though, Zenkai. We got the title, we got platinum coins, we got slot removers, not a lot, we got soul exchange. I mean, I kind of think this is okay. Like, it's not a stressful thing you don't have to do. You can just gather your tickets and then you have a few days before until the event ends to actually use them. You can use them all at once, or you can just do it 2 at a time.
And what was your final score, Bad Lamar?
10-10.
Damn, okay, with the flex.
You say that with the confidence, man. It's like 10-10. It's like, what do you expect, bro?
I mean, what do you expect? It's powerful opponent when you are using androids. What is this?
Well, everybody else is also using androids, though.
Exactly. But I had the team composition with the first form Frieza, the Super 17 that absorbs blast.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I like that.
Also, I get infinite green cards that I can use for either Frieza or the droids.
Fair enough. 10 out of 10. What about you, Asdi?
0. I haven't played it.
Are you going to?
I have not. Yeah, I am. I just been doing basically just holding it off for the last day. I wasn't a big fan of what they did this season. I'm glad that it's going to be coming back consistently. And I've actually been asking for more game modes and more like stuff that's restricted, right?
Right.
But the thing is that
what I liked about this, if you want to hear me out here, that you don't get Rising Rushed. It's locked for 30 timer counts.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second because I have my opinion on that too, but I want to just hear Asdik out first.
Go ahead.
No, it's just that the thing is, because I speak for the free to play, right? And
of course.
So what happens?
our free to play elect here.
Yeah. But basically, so what happens is the bad thing about having these CC rewards behind a game mode like this, where you're not doing LBR, is it just for a free to play player, you are probably invested in a small selection of teams, maybe even just one team. And so for it to just land on your specific team, yes, that say there's a free-to-play player that does main powerful opponent. That's fine. He's going to do great in this, right? But say that there's a free-to-play player that purely just invests in future, right? He still might be okay with this, right? Because there's a lot of powerful opponents that do get included, like with the android and stuff like that. But what happens when a free-to-play player doesn't, is invested, Sun Family. He's invested in a team that doesn't include these powerful opponent characters, and maybe he does have some powerful opponent characters, but he doesn't invest his Z power into them. He doesn't invest his multi-legends limited Z power into them. And so when it comes around to a game mode like this, where there's CC on the line, he builds his best powerful opponent team. He looks at it and he's like, well, I got less than 6 stars on my units. So they eventually just get screwed over in that sense right there, right? And I think that is an issue with this, because this has always been known as I don't know why they're trying to take away from the LBR kind of aspect of the game. I think it's actually quite annoying, and I feel like they're feeding into I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of feeding into the wells, right? Like they want you to spend. Like I understand they always want you to spend, but this kind of feels like when LBR had first came out. I remember this was before I think I became a YouTuber, and I was playing in the quote unquote tournament scene, right? Whatever is left of it, I guess. But they're in the tournament scene when LBR had first came out. I remember so many people quitting and complaining.
Yeah. Everybody can now have my toys.
Yeah, everyone can now be at the same, because back in the day, you would play in a tournament. If you only had 6 stars on your units, that was basically me. I would have built my best team. I would just have 6 stars on my units. So, I would go in these tournaments, everyone had 14 stars. And I'd be like, well, damn, this kind of sucks. And then LBR came out and I was like, oh, this is great. But they did not feel that way. They did not feel that way. These people with the 14 stars were very upset about that. And I feel like they're kind of it's reverting back to that, where they're like, oh, well, we want the guys that like 14 stars more. We want them more. They're obviously, yes, they're going to favor them more, but it's just still very scummy to me. It's just, I don't know. I don't like that aspect at all. That's why I've kind of just been really off put to it, because I could build a decent, powerful opponent team. Like I have Revival Frieza, I have the droids, but you know, I don't invest my CC the same way that other free to play players do. You know, I kind of just
Feel different.
yeah, but at the same time, I don't have like the best stars either. Like once again, I'm finding myself like with units that are under red star level for my powerful opponent team.
Damn. Yeah, that's what I found unfair as well. Because first of all, you know, I have my units are 14 stars, so I have a huge advantage there, and it kind of feels meh. Because then you don't have the same kind of queue as you have in PvP, right? So you just run into people that are maybe not as experienced, or they don't have that same box as you do, and you know, you can see they have like 30 GGs. And when you start out, you all have those 5,000 battle rank power points, whatever it was called, the LBR, BRP. And that, I think that's also what Battle was referring to when he said it was easy. It's just, you know, you get a lot of people that are just inexperienced with the game. I think I only got one match where I saw somebody with God rank stars and he had a 2. Right? So nobody who was like usually up there, I think. And that's also an issue, at least for those players. For me, it's like, all right, cool, I'm getting my CC, easy peasy, but it's kind of imbalanced and it doesn't feel nice, in my opinion. Yeah. So I feel like they should have left the 14 stars at least, you know, to help those people out.
Yeah, at the very least. Yeah, because then you just have this crazy like imbalance where you're going to have someone that be like, dude, this LBR sucks. I hate it. It was so difficult. I didn't have the stars for it. And then you have people battle 10 out of 10. I won every game, bro. What do you expect? Easy.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I asked on Twitter how people liked LBR, and I have to say the majority said that they enjoyed it and that, you know, they were having fun with the teams.
That's good.
Which is cool.
I hate Rising Rush, so I like the lockdown. Please and thank you.
Okay.
I get like 10 counts Rising Rush every PvP fight. So
I don't know, man. I feel like the lock was
you have
bad.
units that is revived endurance. You should not say it.
Look. The lock was still bad because you could still collect Dragon Balls while the Rising Rush is locked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, in my opinion, that's bad because I actually Rising Rushed my opponent once exactly at 150 and it felt the same as in PvP. Like, you know, I had the Dragon Balls as soon as the rush was available and a situation happened to present itself. And so I just used it. It was there. It didn't feel any different than normal PvP matches like this. And that I feel like kind of sucks. So my suggestion would be either you cannot collect Dragon Balls and you kind of bite the bullet with those like 3 units that get stronger when they hold Dragon Balls. Like, I mean, come on, who's bringing like purple DKP or what's the other one? Like Red Omega? Seriously?
Yeah.
Because those are like the 2 units that, you know, pretty much profit off of having Dragon Balls on their hands. Either that or you lock it for 50, 60 counts. Because you can see in the video here, Goresh has his Rising Rush at 158, which is still like, it can feel early. And, you know, as soon as like those 5 or 8 timer counts elapse, you can use it right away. So I would say lock it longer.
Expect it, like there's like I don't know about. I mean, I actually do agree with that. I think you shouldn't be able to collect the balls up until that point. That 30 timer counts elapse, then you can start collecting the balls. Because would you say that there just became a certain point where you were just like waiting for the 30 timer counts? You're like, as soon as those 30 timer counts are up, I'm gonna get rushed, or I'm gonna rush the other person. Basically, like it was just always expected that once those timer counts elapse, that someone's gonna toss out a rush.
I mean, I agree with all of your opinion there. It's just me feeling when I play PvP, and then I went to this, I was like, oh, I don't get rushed, please and thank you.
Yeah, but you still do. Like, to be honest, for me, I don't know. Okay. I don't know how you get rushed. Wait. Battle. I don't understand how you get rushed after 10 counts every match. I think you're exaggerating a little bit here. But what I'm saying is, for me, personally, it felt exactly the same as every other PvP match, maybe except for those odd ones out where you get those like 10, 15 count rushes against you.
You guys are lucky.
Maybe. But to be honest, for me, it felt the same. So that's why I feel the lock was not powerful enough. I would like a buff.
That's why I'm happy that you guys think so.
Well, I haven't really played around with it, so I'm just going based off of your guys' experiences.
I mean, it's just me, and I kind of hate PvP right now that I get rushed every time I'm trying to test out other teams.
Can't have fun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what kind of teams are you using? Are you using teams with like cover changes and stuff like that? Because I noticed that too. When I'm running teams, I run a lot of teams with no cover changes. I think that's the biggest issue with like free to play units specifically, right? Most of them don't have cover changes, and so I do find myself getting rushed way more often than not. Just purely because of the aspects, I have no way to stop a combo or even put pressure on my opponent to make them consider, should I drop this combo? You know?
Yeah.
I think that's an issue with free to play units right now.
Yeah, for sure. That's why they know, like, you have some teams, like some Sun family teams, for example, even, they used to be good. Now they don't have cover changes, and all of a sudden they just can't hold a candle to the other units in the meta. So yeah, that's definitely an issue. But yeah, regarding the lock, please buff it next time. Make it 50, 60 counts.
I mean, I'm not saying no to buff the lock. Absolutely not. I'm just happy that I don't get rushed right away.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just hard for me to empathize because I don't seem to have the same experience as you in PvP. I think it's maybe because you grind early, and so you're always at this high rank,
Oh, bro.
You know what I mean?
But you're using a team that removes Dragon Balls. I don't think that is a fair adjustment.
I'm not using a team that removes Dragon Balls.
But most times you do.
I mean, lately I've been mostly running the Ultra Dragon Fist.
Ultra with Dragon Fist. You have an endurance unit at least. You have an Ultra unit.
I have an endurance unit that gets cucked by the droids and by full power Frieza. It's like, it's all situational, I feel like it's a little bit too easy if you just generalize it. So,
Yeah, but my BS with Rising Rush is huge. That's why I love TN. But I kind of hate when people don't want me to use TN.
You mean in your chat?
Yes.
Fair enough. I guess. It's because you would probably always use TN, right?
Dude, I will use that forever. I will not get Rising Rush. Please and thank you.
Okay.
I hate the Rising Rush that much.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Because I never guess Rising Rushes. I hate those.
I would really love to see a season with just no Rising. Even if it's just on LBR. Like, give me 10 matches, with like Solitude of no Rising Rush. It would be so nice.
Mm-hmm. You're the only one who doesn't want me to suffer, thanks, God. But people want me to suffer.
People want you to not use TN so you don't have fun. Streamer despair, that's what it is. Always love. People always love to see the streamer struggle.
The pain I feel.
Yep.
Yeah, I love to see myself struggle. So I do all these stupid teams.
Yeah.
Well, but you're just built different. In a bad way. Built like a leak.
Yeah. So I literally told my chat, if it had changed to this, I will main TOP. You cannot stop me.
You say your main TOP?
Yes, they will not stop me.
You mean USS?
That's crazy.
App Zero will teach me the way. Will be interesting calculations, but
you can be the next Bob Saget.
Oh god damn.
He's in our server, do you know?
He is?
Yeah, I was talking to Ren about it.
Yep. This man always gets the TOP champ role for the highest ranked player in our server. But yeah, I guess that's it about LBR, and all is left to say is good luck for you, Asdig. I hope 10 out of 10 for you too. So the trifecta is perfect. And with that said, with that said, let's have a look at those alleged leaks. I'm still not 100% convinced. That's the word. Can't English. That we are 100% like getting cooler. Just based off the fact that I don't know like his name is Luka Dokkan, and I don't know if he's really like that reliable of a leaker. Or maybe I just don't know. But he says next Legends LF is gonna be cooler, and the next Zenkai is gonna be Blue Slug. What do you guys think about that?
Blue
I
Slug.
think the Zenkai choice is stupid. Why wouldn't it be like a red LOE unit? Oh well, because I guess we don't know. Imagine if he's blue, bruh. Oh my god.
Please
I mean,
no.
Usually, go ahead, Battle.
I mean, it could be because we got so many greens, and we can have a blue Zenkai that buffs the new free-to-play cooler. Because it's movies and region with the metal cooler. So
Yeah, they
I
have
feel
all
like
the same
it
tags,
had
right?
happened. Yeah,
Except for LOE, obviously.
yeah. But it has powerful opponent, region, movies. So I feel like the Zenkai would be a correct fit.
I don't. I completely disagree. I feel like that's so. It would be. I mean, I can only see this working out if No, I don't see this working out at all.
The question: what did you expect to get a Zenkai then?
One of the red LOEs, right? Because I was just like, okay, well, they're gonna release this cooler, quote unquote. The cooler should be red, and they should have a Zenkai buff for him, right? Because someone pull up red LOE.
There's like what is left? There's like the transforming Frieza.
There are 3.
There's the Final Form movies Frieza, and then there's Metal Cooler who already has a Zenkai. That's it.
Please don't Zenkai.
Yeah, and no one
them
brings Metal Cooler, bro. I've never seen Metal Cooler like this year. I have not seen Metal Cooler like at all, like a singular time out, and probably like maybe like twice or thrice last year.
Only,
I don't know.
Only TOP.
But, yeah. So it's just I feel like they needed to Zenkai the transforming Golden Frieza. You know, I would have liked them to Zenkai the DBS Frieza. Because he would still be movies as well. He would still be in line with this cooler, right?
No, please don't.
But yeah, that way Battle can get paralyzed and stuff like that. But
steal my Dragon Balls too.
Yeah. But I just feel like this is such like a missed opportunity. I mean, I don't know, dude. Do you guys even have Slug at 7 stars though? I feel like Slug is very rare.
He is
14.
Super rare, but I think he's 14 stars.
He's 14.
Damn. That's crazy. I think mine is like barely 7 stars. Like he just got 7 stars.
I would like if Purple Cooler got the Zenkai.
Oh my god. No, I think it had to be red. I think it had to be red, bro. I think this is such like a miss. This actually makes me feel doubtful that this cooler is going to be red, to be quite honest with you. And if he's not red, I think a lot of people are going to be very, very upset.
Yeah, LOE needs this red unit for sure. Because if they don't get a red, like, what are you bringing as a red unit? Androids on the leader slot.
Yep. You're forced to. You have to just dip into powerful opponent.
Yeah, or just any good red unit for leader, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of I'm also curious to see what type the cooler is going to be, since, you know, all the Final Form coolers tended to be melee types. I wonder if he's going to be... Well, actually, the transforming one is a defense type. Does he get blast armor when he transforms, though?
Yeah, the purple one?
Yeah.
The purple one, yes.
Yeah, he does, right? So like he will definitely have blast armor. But I'm curious to see if he's also going to be like maybe they were going to make him a range type just to fit like the whole LOE theme.
A ranged? It's big cooler, okay.
What'd you say?
That would look funny.
It would. But I think it would fit LOE as a team. And he's not going to be on region. I mean, like the metal cooler is.
Look at Jiren, right? Queen Jiren, he's a range type. He has blast armor.
Yeah, that's true.
But do you think they are thinking of LOE and not the powerful opponent, what they need instead?
I hope so.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. This campaign just feels like an LOE campaign. Doesn't even feel like a powerful opponent campaign, so might as well.
But it has Goku Black. What are you talking about? Is he LOE? Huh?
That's just that's just our guaranteed Goku Black unit that we get. I don't know, bro. They pump so many of them out.
Dude, I would be surprised if we suddenly got a Rose Goku Black.
I mean, powerful opponent, right?
Yeah. I mean, there is so many powerful opponents that could be there. I want Super Baby too.
It's crazy to me that Dragon Ball Saga didn't get a buff during this. Neither did GT.
I wanted to see
the powerful opponent campaign.
Yeah, I wanted to see DKP.
DKP, Super Baby 2, Real though. Real though is only a thing I do want, but still. I never expected wanted Lord Slug. Maybe the Green Buhan, just to support the region. Or maybe Yellow Hit.
For our Green Buhan Zenkai would be fabulous. I would love that. If they made him good, obviously. But if they make him like the Green Future Gohan, and I mean, they seem to just like their Green Zenkai, so I don't know why not do it. I dare you, Kai and Toshi. Dare you.
Yeah, I think the Slug Zenkai is so pointless. What do you like?
If you think about it, it's different characters that needs. If you said it's cooler, that means like we got Frieza, Goku Black, Metal Cooler. There are 3 different characters. Then we got Zenkai for Slug.
I think the timing is wrong for me.
But does it count,
I don't mind him
though?
getting it.
Will this count though as one of the powerful opponents?
One of the slots? Yeah, I definitely do think so.
I don't think so.
Why? Why wouldn't he count as one of the slots? Just because he's not new?
Yes.
I guess. I mean, I suppose. I mean, technically, he's actually like powerful opponent, right?
Because soon we should be getting like an Ultra unit, right?
I mean, that's what I had thought initially, that we were gonna get an Ultra unit at the end of this campaign. But if they're busting out the LF, I'm not too sure now.
Ultra Cooler instead.
Nah, I doubt it. Give me Ultra DKP though.
Ooh.
I think that would be dope.
It would be funny if the C ability is Regen, Powerful Opponent, and Dragon Ball Saga. Please bring more Dragon Ball Saga. I want Grandpa Gohan to be here. I want Jackie Chun to be here.
What about the invisible guy?
Yeah, Devil Man, the Mummy Man. I want the arena, the Devil Man's toilet.
And for me, I want Ninja Murasaki. Let's go.
True.
Ooh. True. Or fake Arnold Schwarzenegger robot.
For a while, he was the best blue unit on Dokkan Battle as a, what is it, an R?
Really?
Yeah, because he was the one who could seal special moves, and then you had the blue Super Vegito.
I remember that. That's crazy.
Impressive ninja skills. That was the meme back then. That was so fun.
I remember like just begging Devilman too when in Dokkan to just hit that crazy.
Yeah,
he does like the quadrillion damage, bro. He was a legend, dude. We need him in Legends. We need him in Legends, bro.
It's like a passive where he just has like a 0.1% chance of just one-shotting your opponent.
One-shotting on a blue? Yeah, no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter what color he is. That would be amazing.
Right, imagine you hit that like first thing in the match. That must be so demoralizing to your opponent is just gonna quit. Like, okay, that's it.
I wouldn't even be mad. If that happened to me, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be like, all right, you know what? And you be like that sometimes. Yeah.
But I just find that we will get a lot of units, and I'm trying to not look at the leaks right now because I kind of want to be surprised on the last unit. But if it's like the leak says, then nothing really surprises me anymore on this. I just wait for the anniversary. Not the anniversary, festival.
Yeah.
Unless they give me Master Roshi.
Yeah. Is the last slot of powerful opponent?
Yes.
Master Roshi.
No.
Dude, if you get Master Roshi sparking, I want you to do an entire stream with that voice.
Oh my god.
You will have to drink so much water to keep your vocal cords like oiled.
Moisturized.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Do you moisturize?
Yeah.
All right, I feel like our discussions have kind of run its course, so we're going to take a quick break and we will be back in about 3 minutes with questions. Alrighty, we are back and I will hand it over to MC Azdik. So put your questions in chat. Let's go.
Hey, okay, so the first one I see right here from Scott, the bonafide GT main or GT Coper. You guys
Ah,
think Cooler will have a counter to blue cards like Super Vegito, but for blues, or an ult that goes through beam blue cards, and finally the second unit to cover change against blues since Bojack? If it's from the first movie Cooler, yes, I actually do think that could be a very cool possibility. Like when he just goes straight through Goku's Kamehameha in the film, I think that definitely would be an interesting mechanic for him to have. But I don't. I feel like it also at the same time would be a little bit broken. Do you guys think he should take a little bit of damage from it? I mean, he still would get damage off. Maybe he gets a priority off of it. I'm not too sure, but that is interesting. I actually would like to see that.
I mean, it could kind of work like Kaioken Blue or like Full Power Freeze, like Kaioken Blue's Ultimate or Full Power Freeze's green card.
Oh yeah, that's true. Where he just kind of like goes around. He guys because he uses he goes through it, huh? And he can use his own blue card combo off of it. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know about I don't know because you mentioned Bojack, the purple Bojack. We haven't seen a cover change like that at all, right? What if they try to just
Right.
give him something like that?
Either or, I would say.
I mean,
Yeah,
if we
something
get
new.
in Cooler, absolutely.
But honestly,
Yeah, I
I
think
wouldn't mind it. But I mean, also we've seen a pattern of them kind of limiting those universal cover changes to like 2. And Bojack has it infinitely, right? He can just always cut in. And he will but he has the drawback of making the unit he swaps out for take a little bit of damage. But I feel like that's okay. I would just
Yeah.
assume that they would probably limit it to like 2.
Yeah, I agree. But I do notice them. They've been getting into this like habit of putting like these gauges on every unit, right? Or always just giving someone like a gauge and stuff like that. So I could also see it in that form of it just being a gauge, like exactly like how Vegito has a gauge, but you can just use that gauge only against the blues, and then you have to wait for it to fill up after a certain amount of cards have been used on your opponent's side or something like that. But at the
Kind
same
of like
time,
Super
I
Vegito.
think it'll yeah. But instead of having to like say press a strike card against him, he just immediately he just activates it automatically or something like that, right?
I don't know if that would
Maybe.
work because I mean that's as broken as MUI, just for blue cards, let's say. But then also your opponent is just gonna know not to use a blue card.
Yeah, I think that just having that pressure alone though is huge though, right? Like you just know that your opponent cannot use a blue card even if they take away your banish. You know, and then you're like, oh well, he's just sitting back there. I'm just gonna chuck his blue. You can't even do that either, right? So I feel like that would put a lot of pressure, a lot of mind games involved right there. But like how you said, I'm not a developer, so I don't know if that would be too broken. That would break the state of the game. But at the same time, sometimes some of the decisions feel like they don't do that either. So we could possibly see that.
Maybe.
But I think we can move on to the next questions. Or the next question right here from Ninja Bros. Do you think they are slowly killing off PvE to become mainly a PvP based game? Maybe even going as far as taking all rewards to PvP? I'm gonna be real honest, and I think this is kind of like a hot take. But them taking away float step was for the betterment of the game. I don't think they went into the right direction in terms of what it is right now. Right now, it's kind of off. It's off-putting right now, specifically for not necessarily TOP right now, but float step was bad for the game. 100% float step was bad because it was essentially us cheesing every single piece of content they gave to us. Right. And that's something that they did not want. I'm pretty sure they didn't want that from jump. Like they even said it in the news when they said that they even called it a glitch. I'm pretty sure in the news, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they used the word unintentional for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I honestly kind of figured eventually they would take this away, but the way they went about it wasn't necessarily correct. I think they're going to keep smoothing it out though. I think eventually in the future, hopefully not in too far into the future, PvE is going to be more enjoyable overall because there is a category of people that play this game that only are invested in the PvE aspect. Right. And so, yes, PvP will always be the highlight. it will always be the main attraction of Dragon Ball Legends. But I think PvE is going to get better with more time to come and stuff like that. I just think the biggest fumble here is the rewards right now, right? I think they just need to really improve rewards, because even in PvP, you say take all the rewards to PvP. Right now, it feels like they're taking away from PvP. You know, like we were just talking about this too the other day with how we have the Z tier groups and the S tier groups. I was in Z tier for last season, and I intentionally did not play. I didn't stream. I wanted to sandbag myself, essentially. I didn't want to remain in that Z group. I want to be an S group. Easier to get the CC, get more CC, right? Because I think I finished last season in the top 3K, and top 3K, I think I was like 156 in Group Z, which is bad, right?
Isn't there only 100
I barely
people?
got. No, not in Z, because I'm pretty sure I was 100 and like something.
Nah,
but I could be wrong on that.
They said that it's like groups of 100.
Is it?
Yeah.
I would have to go back and see, but I literally got the bare minimum from that. So which was the 100 CC from that, and then the 900 CC from just PvP. So I still got mines. I still got my like a 1000 CC and stuff like that, but I could have got more if I was an S group. So it just depends. I don't know. It just feels like the game's in a weird place, and they're still finding their way. I know that we keep having to hold them accountable to this kind of thing. What do you guys feel any kind of like way about this? About the them? Do you guys think they're killing off PvE?
No, I wouldn't say really. So, because I think that if they did that, they would lose all of those people who are invested only in PvE. And I'm pretty sure that there are still some whales in there just because they love collecting. So, you know, I don't think they would want to lose that. I think that the whole S versus Z group, yeah, they need to kind of revamp the rewards there a little bit, because how can it be that you're ranking higher than somebody in like an S group? You know, you're going into God rank and you get less rewards than they do. Because like I didn't play that much the season prior to the change, so I was in an S group. And I won it. I got 1,500 CC from going to God rank. But if I had, done what you did, Azdeek, and just sandbagged, so like you come in like 1,001st, you basically get 1.4K if you win that group, and nobody out of your S group goes into God rank like every season. Yes, and I think that's like CC wise, that's the way, right? Because unless you really do care about your God ranks, and I stopped doing that because I also got like 16, so I think. At one point you're just like, okay, I've been there. You just go for the CC. Your most optimal way is to win an S group without going into God rank. 1,400 CC, easy.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird. Also, Palm, I just checked for my last season. I did finish in rank 138.
What?
For my Z rank? Yeah, that was my final ranking, was 138. I don't know. Watch, I'll put a screenshot after this. But
I believe you, but it's weird because they said specifically that those groups are like 100 people.
That is very odd then. But we can move on to the next question then, I suppose. So Nas says, if we got the LF cooler, would he have a unique gauge to stop/counter Rising Rush, since we sort of had this in LB? Ooh. Okay. I think that'd be interesting. I'm not too sure though, because if it's like how Palm said, I think that might be fine. I think I actually might be okay with it, because Palm, you said that it didn't feel like much of a change for them to actually have that 30 timer count lock. Right. Would you mind having that mechanic like just on a character in general? Do you think it would be broken?
I think it would just make the game a little more balanced. Because as Battle said, it's the games you don't remember are usually the ones that go normally, and then the games you do remember are the ones where you get Rising Rush like first combo. And it would at least stop this from happening, but still kind of feel normal, So, and I'm assuming that, if you had that gauge, it would only activate when he's on the field anyways. So you might still be getting rushed if he's off. I think that could work.
I think I personally do think he's gonna have a unique gauge though. At the very least, I think he'll have one, or he's gonna have some. He's because they've been kind of like upping up the ante with these LFs as of lately, right? Even with Trunks, Trunks didn't necessarily he didn't get a unique gauge, but he does possess the two ultimates, right? Like Ultra Gogeta does, and so that's kind of like his own gimmick in that way, in that fashion. Plus having the built-in counter to the droids, I suppose, with their tag switches and stuff like that. So I do think we might see something unique from him, right? And maybe a unique gauge. I'm not too sure. They have to make him good. I'm gonna be real honest. They have to make him good because I personally, I'm gonna be summoning on this, but Cooler isn't all that hype to me. He's up there in terms of Dragon Ball villains and stuff like that, but I definitely don't feel like villains sell as well as the heroes. That's why we always just see the heroes. I think in terms of villains being like the highest priority and highest like selling units, it's always Frieza and Broly. I feel like it's always down to those two villains.
Cell,
right there,
maybe?
right? Maybe Cell. But for Cooler, I don't know. How popular is Cooler in Japan? I'm not too sure.
I think he's more popular there than he's over here.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget the villain with the best backstory ever, Jiren.
Jiren, yeah. So
Ultimate
we're just
Chad.
gonna have to go ahead and wait and see.
Yeah.
All right. How much time do we have, Palm?
Let's just do the one from Sammy. There's one more in chat.
All right. So Sammy says, do you guys think that the upcoming free-to-play Ultras are going to continue to be trash with what we say from the previous ones compared to the premium ones? Yes. I think they're going to be trash. Like coming from I don't know. Man. I just feel like now that we have the premium Ultras, because even when the Ultras first came out, like Goku was all right. Vegeta came out though, and he was immediately better, right? I think everyone was like on the same wavelength that Vegeta came out and he was immediately better, and Omega came out and then he was the best. He's still the best out of the free to play ones. And they gave them their platinum equips relatively in a good amount of time. They didn't like marinate for too long, right? I feel like even with those platinum equips, Omega doesn't have his still, I think. But even with those platinum equips, I don't think it helped too much. It did help. It did help. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna start like lying to you guys to your face, but I don't think it like made them like Z tier units. It didn't make them S tier units and stuff like that, right? So I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope for the free to play Ultras. I want them. Don't get me wrong, Toshi. I want them. I need them. But I think their focus is definitely more on selling you the premium versions, right? That was always the goal. Give you guys these cool Ultras. They look great. They're going to introduce them as free. They did the same thing with LRs in Dokkan, right?
Yep.
They introduced them first as free, and then they're like, okay, well, now you got to summon on these bad boys, right? So they essentially use that same plan here, but at the same time, I do want to be a little bit optimistic because on Dokkan, you do have some really cool free-to-play LRs as well, right? Some that are pretty solid, I would say. I'm not too sure. My knowledge on Dokkan isn't immense or anything like that, but I feel like they got that Master Roshi LR that was free, right? I feel like that's something that could be interesting. I don't know if I heard Battle like just cut off or something, or like a little scream.
I'm sorry. I tried to use Master Roshi, but my cat came before my mic. So,
bruh. Honestly, though, I don't even know whether there's going to be any free to play LRs, Ultras coming.
Please give me a Super Warrior one, and I'm happy.
Yeah, because that's where they could use the more obscure characters, like characters they know that aren't necessarily going to sell, but still warrants kind of like a special card. I think that's the perfect time to bust out the free-to-play Ultras.
Sure. I'm not against it. I'm just saying I doubt it. But
then suddenly we get a lot of Ultra Dragon Ball Saga units. Free-to-play.
Mm-hmm. But I haven't... So, Omega... When did Omega come out? So that is the real question. That's the question that I have. Did he come out last year or at the end of the year before that?
It was the beginning of last year, I think.
Beginning of last year?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even know.
Okay, Scott says October. So October of
Exactly
of
last year. Almost a year has passed.
Okay, so by this measurement, can we? If we will have to wait until October comes around, or I guess until the year finishes up. But I do feel like we might be seeing a free to play ultras just once a year if we get any at all, which is not a lot. So, especially since they have their current schedule of pumping out these premium ultras now, which is always going to take the higher priority, which is a little bit unfortunate. But that's just the state of the game.
The stale of the game.
Yep.
All right, I guess that's those are our closing remarks here. So yeah, that is the podcast for this week. Thank you all for staying around. Thank you all, Azdi and Battlemore, for being on the show. As always, don't forget to check out our creators. You see their Twitter handles here on the screen, and you will find their links in the description on YouTube. And yeah, we will be back next week with episode 102, and hopefully something more exciting, like, knowing what the LF is. Let's see if he's even coming out this Wednesday or if it's going to be another week. Until then, stay safe, wash your hands, follow us on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Later.